Thank you so much. Good morning and namaste, everybody. To begin, I acknowledge Wurundjeri and pay my respects to elders past and present and any First Peoples here today. I love the respect our First Peoples pay to elders, just as they are revered in the Nepalese and Southeast Asian cultures as well. So I pay my respects to all elders from our community. I thank them for the wisdom, their selflessness and the sacrifices they have made for those that come after them. Especially our older women who this week we celebrate and whose strength, resilience and love have shaped our generations. As we look at the state of the world around us, it's not hard to imagine how much better it would be if the nonnas, the Hojurama and the grandmothers were the leaders of the nations. I acknowledge our keynote speakers, Professor Burkan Abbas from Trobe University, Professor Nicola Henry from RMIT, and so many special guests in the room. I won't try and acknowledge you all, we'll be here all day. But I thank them and all of the organisations who are represented today for the incredible work you do in the community. Like, this is a room of change makers in this room, and you're all incredible and you all contribute so much. So thank you for being here. And anyone who believes Australia doesn't get more than it gives, for immigration only has to look at today's program and all of you to see how much we all collectively benefit from your knowledge, your skills and your dedication. Also, a massive shout out to the wonderful team at Dididbahini Women's Network Australia who've brought us all together. I acknowledge and thank President Roshini for all your work, Vice President Namala, Secretary Anjana, Co-Secretary Lena, Treasurer Benju, Co-Treasurer Rita, our respected Prida, our amazing founder Dr. Jamuna, and all of those who have contributed to Dididbahini Samaj. I'm glad you've changed your name. And did you notice I left out all the surnames because they're too hard? I first met many years ago at Dididbahini Samaj Victoria event in Glenroy, a collaboration of culture, language, bringing people together and offering safe space to seek support where people could share the challenges of their journeys and break the isolation that so many in a new country feel. I know Dididbahini Samaj Victoria, I finally got it right and you're changing the name, was a life changer for many, and I thank each and every one of you for your input, your dedication and the empowerment you have given to women. You truly live out your values of compassion, courage and respect, and it's a great honour to open your conference today. The theme of today's conference, Empowered Women, Thriving Communities, reflects a powerful truth. When women are strong, supported and heard, entire communities flourish. Today we celebrate International Women's Day. It's really become International Women's Month, which, who can complain about that? 100 years ago, in Australia, we weren't allowed to run for positions. And now in Victoria, we have over 50% members of Parliament as women and over 60% in the Cabinet room. Better decisions are made when different voices are heard. And diversity and leadership in a multicultural society is crucial. Our Labor government has ensured that women now make up more than 50% of all Victorian government boards. But we also want to see that diversity of women represented improved as well. We now have the Women of Colour Executive Leadership Program and the Seat at the Table initiative, which supports young women from refugee and migrant backgrounds to be on boards and committees. Our state Labor government has also opened up 20 new women's health clinics, established the virtual women's health clinic. We fund 8 elder abuse prevention networks with a focus on older women. We've expanded pharmacy care to make it easier for women to access the contraceptive pills, treatments for UTIs, and all of the other issues that, it makes it's so hard to get into a GP appointment, as many of you know. So this just makes getting care easier. And there's small things like the free pads and tampons in public places, which gives women and girls the dignity they deserve. And of course the big things too. Free TAFE and free Kinder have been a game changer and enabled so many more women to access training and employment and the financial empowerment and independence that comes with that. Our work from home laws will also ensure that people who perform jobs that can be done from home will have the right to work from home 2 days a week, and employers won't be able to refuse reasonable requests to do so, as many of them currently do. We've also valued the frontline workers. It's incredible the work they do, and many of them are in female-dominated industries. We thank you sincerely for doing the most important jobs in the world, the teaching, the nursing, the caring. The Victorian Labor government has delivered a historic 28.4% pay rise to nurses, and the federal government has increased wages for childcare and aged care workers. Long overdue. And I know that many of you are in organisations that suffer from a lack of certainty in funding, and it's a big issue for me, and I work really hard, and there's a number of us in the government who are pushing really hard to give you guys the security of funding so that you can recruit and train and know that the really important work that you do will continue on. We've invested in social housing for women over 55 and in the Driving to Employment program, which addresses the huge barrier women from culturally and linguistically diverse communities can face when accessing transport. And no government has done more or invested more to counter violence against women. We held a Royal Commission and we're implementing all of the recommendations. We've opened orange doors across the state and improved access for multicultural communities, but we all know there is so much more to do. And I know that'll be a focus for you today. Unfortunately, I can't stay all day because, I would love to listen to you all. There's so much wisdom in this room. But I'm sure Jemana and Rashini will give me an update afterwards and pass on the ideas and recommendations that come from today. We all know that when women are safe, our families become stronger, our communities thrive, and society prospers. I thank you all again for the work you do and your dedication to the most important causes. And I wish you all a very happy International Women's Day. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste and good morning all. My name is Sylvia Coombe and I'm a commissioner, not the chairperson, at the Victorian Multicultural Commission. Vivian gives her apologies. I'm from the beautiful islands of Fiji, of mixed heritage. I'm Fijian, Irish and Chinese. I'm also the president of my own community, the Fijian Community Association of Victoria, and the recently appointed Honorary Consul of Fiji in Victoria. As visitors to this land we call home, I also would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and I acknowledge them as traditional owners. And I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and also to any Aboriginal people that may be here today. I pay my respects to our VIPs, Nirijan Gauli. I just saw you in Geelong last weekend at Paco Festa and with the proud Nepalese community there, and Miss Kathleen, who has just left, Matthews, all the dignitaries, speakers, sponsors, faith leaders, community leaders, and elders that are here. The VMC advocates for and promotes cultural diversity in Victoria across all levels of government. And as the main link between communities and government, the VMC engages with multicultural and multi-faith groups to understand the issues that they face. We work together to identify and recommend potential solutions to government, policymakers, and community organizations to make public services more inclusive and accessible. Cultural Diversity Week is coming up soon from the 21 to 29 March, celebrating under the theme Culture Connects Us All. And every year in March, we bring Victorians together to celebrate our state's diverse and powerful multicultural communities, including the Nepalese community. There are lots of ways you can get involved, from hosting or attending events, joining the digital campaign, or attending the Victorian Multicultural Festival. Jump onto our website to find out more. We also have submissions for the 2026 Multicultural Film Festival closing very soon, next week on the 10th of March. So any budding filmmakers, now's a chance to put your movie in, appropriate movie in, from all backgrounds. I invited to share their stories. And I'd also like to note quickly that last year, the Victorian government announced its response to the Victorian Multicultural Review, late last year by George Lekakis, the former VMC chair, and his team. This includes establishing a new multicultural Victoria, replacing the Victorian Multicultural Commission. If you'd like to know more about the Cultural Diversity Week, the Film Festival, or the Multicultural Review, you can find out more on the VMC website or reach out to talk to me after today's conference, but I'm leaving at 1, so before 1. So as we gather under the theme Empowered Women, Thriving Communities, I want to take a moment to honor the strength, wisdom, and quiet resilience that women carry into every space they enter. The grandmothers, the mothers, the aunties, the daughters, from all generations and the generations before. Let's together honor them and give them a round of applause. Strengthening women's well-being, leadership, and participation, especially across our multicultural communities, is not just important, it is transforming. Women are the steady hands that hold communities together. National social cohesion research shows that women consistently report higher levels of community participation and trust. And during times of crisis such as the pandemic, and including what's going on now around the world and in Australia lately, women's engagement helps and has helped keep Australia's social cohesion remarkably resilient. In multicultural communities, diverse women are often the backbone of informal networks. We call it in the island the coconut wireless. That preserves culture, strengthen belonging, and support families across generations. Their leadership, whether formal or grassroots, continues to stabilize and uplift community well-being across Australia. And women deserve to be at every decision-making table. Unfortunately, that's still not the case. In Australia, women make up 51% of the workforce, yet only hold 22% of CEO roles, 36% of key management positions, and 33% of board seats, with just 18% serving as board chairs. Despite this underrepresentation, women are among the most highly educated in the country, completing tertiary qualifications at higher rates than men, and continue to upskill at record levels. They lead with empathy and courage, and their leadership often shows up in places that are overlooked: informal networks, creative initiatives, community circles, and cultural spaces. Research shows that these are the very environments where social cohesion is strengthened and real community change begins, especially in multicultural communities where women act as cultural bridge builders and trusted connectors. Women are powerful bridge builders. National research shows that multicultural women are at the forefront of community advocacy and inclusion, with organizations across Australia recognizing them as key voices shaping policy, safety, and representation for migrant and refugee communities. Across the country, women, especially those from culturally diverse backgrounds, play a central role in community leadership and civic participation, contributing essential insights that inform government, decision-making, and strengthen social cohesion. As the social glue of so many communities, women must be empowered at every scale, supported, resourced, and trusted to shape policy vision and long-term community outcomes. When women lead, communities don't just function, they flourish. So last week, I experienced a personal moment, and I've been feeling this way since the last 2 years, that reminded me of the emotional depth of women leadership. After 7 years of serving as the president of the Fijian Community Association in Victoria, and 9 years in total on the board, I made the decision to step down at our AGM next week. It is one of the hardest decisions I've made. I felt pride for what we had built, relief in finally exhaling, because sometimes we women, we forget to exhale, sadness in letting go, and deep gratitude for the journey. For a moment, I wondered whether stepping back meant I was letting people down. But then I realized something important. Women evolve. Our purpose evolves. And sometimes empowerment looks like knowing when to let go so we can rise in our next season of calling. In the days that followed, as news traveled fast, women and men from our community and the broader community have reached out to me. They shared how my leadership has encouraged them, how seeing a Fijian woman in that role gave them permission to dream bigger. Their words reminded me that leadership is not defined by a title. It is defined by the space we create for others to grow, and by the courage to step forward into new chapters. It's as one leader said to me, "You're not stepping down, you're stepping up." I am allowing myself to focus on new projects, new visions, and new ways of serving our multicultural communities, especially those of new and emerging. Today, be united, be uplifted, and build lasting connections. It will be here where dialogues begin, collaboration grows, and collective action takes root. It is here that we listen and we learn and feel inspired by everyone's journey. Finally, I want to commend the Dididbahini Women's Network Australia and extend my heartfelt thanks to Ms. Roshni Shrestha, the President, and Dr. Jamuna Parajuli, Founding President and Conference Coordinator, for bringing us together for this powerful and necessary conversation on women's wellness and empowerment. I end on this note. Empower a woman and you empower generations, not in just her lifetime. Her flourishing becomes the heartbeat of a thriving, connected community. And maybe, just maybe, that's why the world, that's why Australia, and that's why Victoria is the way it is lately. Our communities are disconnected. Our communities are disengaged. Our communities' heartbeats are irregular. Our communities' heartbeat is slow. Our community's heartbeat is out of sync because women are not empowered. Woman, you are the heartbeat of our community. And thank you to the men who support us. Thank you and Dhanyavad.
I would like to invite President of DWNA, Mrs. Roshni Shrestha, to the stage to officially do the welcome address for us. Roshni will respect on DWNA's mission, impact, knowledge, our government funding partners, including Vic Health and NAMI National. Please join me in welcoming Roshni Shrestha. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Namaste and very warm welcome to you all. It is with great honor that I stand before you today as the President of Dididbahini Women Network Australia to officially open our Women's Wellbeing Empowerment Conference on the occasion of International Women's Day 2026 with theme Give to Gain. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodian of land on which we gather today and pay my respect to elders, past, present, and emerging. Today is a historical moment for our organization. What I began in October 2012 in Victoria as Dididbahini Samaj Victoria, a women-led community-driven initiative, has now grown up into a nation movement, as highlighted in our Growth Journey report. DWNA Growth Journey, we have expanded from Victoria to Australia, supporting over 3,000 community members through health, well-being, leadership, advocacy, and cultural programs. Supporting survival family in Nepal and Australia. Conducting capacity building workshops to begin recognized in federal parliament. Our journey reflects compassion, courage, respect, and change. Today, as we gather here at Trobe University, I would like to sincerely thank the university for providing this wonderful venue and supporting community-led movement empowerment initiative. More importantly, I would like to thank Big Health and other grantees for financial support. I would also like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Honorable MP Kathleen Matthew, Honorary Nepalese Consular for Victoria Nirajat Gauli, BMC Commissioner Sylvia Combe, distinguished university professors and keynote speakers, our panel presenters, facilitators, all partner organizations and sponsors, and every conference attendee who has taken to be here today. Your presence strengthens our shared commitment to women's leadership and well-being. This conference aligns strongly with International Women's Day 2026 theme, reminding us that empowerment is not just word, it's an action, it's a voice, it's a visibility, and it's a leadership. However, as we celebrate our achievements, we must also acknowledge our challenges. As a women and women organization, our contributions are usually given limited space for recognition within our community. We constantly face funding constraints, digital transformation, stronger governance structure, and managing a larger committee as we expand nationally. Growth brings us opportunity, but also brings responsibility. Yet, despite these challenges, we remain committed to our 5 pillars: women's health and well-being, capacity and confidence building, research, innovation, and advocacy, family and social connection, creative cultural celebrations. As we move from Victoria to nationwide, our vision is clear: to expand violence prevention initiative, strengthen early intervention program, build youth and women's leadership, environmental sustainable program, establish DWNA chapters across Australia and continue advocating for the voices of Nepalese women. Today's conference is not just an event. It is a platform for dialogue, collaboration, research, and action. It is a space where academic insight meet community wisdom, where lived experience meet policy discussion, where resilience meet opportunity. Finally, I would like to offer very special thanks to our organizing committee, management team. Your tireless dedication, late nights, planning, coordination, and passion have made today possible. I salute your commitment and leadership. Together, we continue building a future where every woman's voice is heard, valued, and empowered. Thank you and namaste.
Thank you, Rosni.
Good morning and namaste everyone. This is my great honor to stand here amongst you as a conference coordinator and to welcome you to the first Women's Wellness and Empowerment Conference 2026. It's proudly organized by the Dididbahini Women's Network Australia. I also begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of this land where we are meeting today, and I pay my respect to their elders past and present. I also honor the strength, wisdom, and leadership of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander women who continue to shape and uplift our communities. I also wish to acknowledge the presence of our distinguished guest. Thank you for coming and inspiring us with your time and leadership, including my dear friend Kathleen Matthew, who already left for some reason, the Consulate General of Nepal to Victoria, who is not here yet, and VMC Chairperson, our friend Sylvia, community leaders from various organizations including RAKA, FENCA, NAV, Nari Nikunja, Himalayan Youth Foundations, and also we have media personnel from SBS Media. And all the respected members of our community, our seniors, Bua, Amaharu, whoever here, to our keynote speakers, presenters, panelists, and volunteers, your commitment and effort in joining us today truly strengthen the purpose and impact of our conference. So what I want to highlight is today is more than a gathering, as we can see and we can feel here. It is a call to action, a moment where leaders, advocates, professionals, researchers, community voices stand together with one common purpose: to strengthen the well-being, voice, and leadership of women across our multicultural communities. In the spirit of International Women's Day tomorrow, and we are having this year themes Balance the Scale and Give to Gain, that exactly asks us to stand together with a clear message that justice must be fair, inclusive, and accessible for every woman and girls. And we are reminded that generosity is not a soft virtue, it is a powerful force that strengthens our communities. When we give our time, when we give our knowledge, when we give our compassion, we all rise. And that's what's happening right here, right with us today. We construct something larger than ourselves. We build communities that are stronger, safer, and more connected. We develop a society where every woman has the opportunity not just to survive, but thrive. Our conference theme today is Empower Women, Thriving Communities. It speaks a simple truth: empowerment is collective. When women rise, family rise. When women lead, community transform. Today's conference is grounded in 4 pillars, as you have seen in our flyers and in social media: wellness, voice, action, and empowerment. And as we think, these are not just the words, these are commitments. Commitment to listen deeply, commitment to lead courageously, commitment to construct the pathways that uplift every woman, especially from those from CALD, migrant and refugees communities. So throughout the day today, we will hear from keynote speakers, lived experience leaders, health and community professionals, researcher, change maker and policy influencer who brings deep insight into the realities of women they face. From health access and mental well-being to family violence, digital inclusion, justice and leadership. Their insights will challenge us, inspire us and push us to build systems that are accessible, that are culturally safe, that are trauma-informed and truly responsive to women's lived realities. Together, we learn, connect, reflect and be inspired to act and work together. I hope that you will leave today with new knowledge, stronger connection, practical tools, and renewed commitment to shaping a future where every woman, regardless of their culture, identity, or circumstances, can stand tall, safe, healthy, and empowered. Thank you for bringing your voice, your expertise, and your heart to this conference today. My sincere thanks to Vic Health and Nimai National for standing with us as a key partners and proud sponsor. Please give them hands. Your support means a lot to us. Deep appreciation to EMCR of LIMS for your generous support to make this conference happen in this venue today. Our community partners, Nordic Nations, Smart Health Global, and our supporter FENCA. Thank you so much. And our media partner from SBS Radio. Last but not the least, I would really like to thank Dr. Akindra Timalsina, CEO of Nordic Nations. Please give him a hand. Whose tireless coordination made this conference possible in this beautiful venue. We are so proud to have you all alongside us. Our collective support strengthens our mission and fuels our ever-thriving organizations. So last, together, let's make today meaningful, energizing, and truly transformative. A day that inspires us, strengthens us, and reminds us of the extraordinary power we all hold. Thank you, and so let's begin. Thank you.
For inviting me as honorary consul and as a community activist as well, our respected guest, esteemed organizer, fellow champion of women's empowerment, where we are here today. I would like to acknowledge the traditional owner of the land where we meet today, pay my respect past, present, and emerging. On behalf of Consulate of Nepal and myself, it is my distinct honor and privilege to extend our deepest gratitude to the Dididbahini Women's Network, Australia, DWNA, previously called Dididbahini Samaj Victoria, for gracefully inviting me to this landmark Women's Welfare, Wellness and Empowerment Conference 2026. Australia and Victoria stand as a spotlight of cultural diversity and inclusion. As of 2024, 29% of Australia residents were born overseas, with nearly 0.5% or more than 0.5%, particularly in Victoria, having at least one parent born overseas is abroad. That means we are also carrying that legacy. As a representative of Nepali government, I would like to take you to Nepal to compare its data with Australia and global context. Dear Sylvia is my good friend, and she is the commissioner of Victorian Multicultural Commission, and she is also our cohort at the moment. She is honorary consul of Fiji to Victoria, and she already presented very emotional speech with some data, what it's like women's stranding for Victoria and multicultural cohort in Australia. Nepal stands at a pivotal junction in advancing women's rights. Globally, the Gender Equality Index, GEI, a UN composite index measuring reproductive health, particularly when women's associated, it's also come to the reproductive health as well. Empowerment and labor market disparities shows that women comprise 52% of the world's population, yet face barrier in education, health, economic participation, with unpaid care work burdening them disproportionately worldwide. That is the situation at the moment for particularly in women cohort. Now, let's eliminate Nepal's journey with key data comparison. Just I would like to compare a little bit of the data. Literacy rate, if we are going to see the 55 to 70% overall in Nepal is a literacy rate. If we can see the Australia 99% literacy rate, and the global context is 83%. If we want to see the labor force participation, particularly in Nepal, not many years, it's started, women is also on the labor market. Previously, it's mainly housewife and household contest, we can see it. Because of that reason, not much data is average the below world, it's like a data. 22.9% women versus 48.3% men. It's a 1 in 6 in Sudur Pasim, particularly in Sudur Pasim and Karnali, what our NAP president belongs to from the Sudur Pasim region. Because of that reason, just I want to highlight that one. It's like a particular section is a little bit marginalized. In Australia, there is 61% is women is labor force, it's a participation, and globally 47% only. Political representation. Nepal is really great for the political representation, particularly for women. It's like 34% is federal parliament and 41% is local position, because there is a mandatory, it's a requirement. In Australia, there is so many women is leading the country and leading the state as well. We can see so many, it's like a premier, is as a woman premier leading to Australian couple of its state and territory. There is a 55% in parliament in Australia, but globally there is only 26%. That is the situation. It's a gender-based violence. Nepal is suffering so much for the gender-based violence, but in particularly Australia is a very lower incident, but within a Khal community, we can compare to the as an average Australian community, it's a little bit higher than the particularly the higher rank in the Khal community. But 1 in 3 women worldwide affected. That is the situation. Economic empowerment, 29% female manager is in Nepal. At the moment, so many people is aspiring to the job market, and so many women taking that responsibility and taking the lead. But in Australia particularly is the highest female leadership. Sylvia already mentioned it, around 40%. That was the situation in Australia. But if we can compare to the globally, that is around 27%. Financial inclusion. Around 60% women with accounts in Nepal, but in Australia, if you can see, near 100%. We cannot say 100%, but about 100%. But whereas in other country, it's very different. There is a very low level data presented as globally. This figure highlights Nepal's progress, but it's driven by quotas. I already mentioned earlier, but which we can see the dragging to that cohort too. UN-backed program like Empowerment Women, Prosperous Nepal, targeting GBP prevention is a gender-based violence prevention and socioeconomic uplift. Yet, hope flourished, particularly in Nepali community in Australia. Nepal Australian women are increasingly pursuing higher education and professional advancement. What we can see it in here within this room probably is like more than 10 scholar who has done the PhD, and they are here today for this particular conference. It's whose background is Nepali, it's like a heritage is Nepali. Even is particularly in La Trobe University, I do have some sort of connection with La Trobe University. I have started my PhD a little bit long time ago from the La Trobe University, but I moved to the another university recently. 19th Nepali scholar in 2026, who is coming to Australia, all are women. That is the bigger achievement for our cohort, particularly for Nepali. It's a student, that is the scholar. They are getting the opportunity for it's like a competitive basis, not merit, it's a meritocracy, not it's like a pulling their hand only, you know. This conference is a collaboration called to bridge these divides through sheer knowledge, innovation, willingness, strategic and empowerment initiative. DWNA, Dididbahini Women's Network Australia. It's a bit hard for me. Dididbahini Samaj Victoria, although it's called Dididbahini Samaj efforts. Alongside Nepalese commitment via UN Women's and national plans, pave the way for Nepali women and women everywhere to thrive economically, socially, and spiritually. In closing, let us commit to collaborative action, empowering every woman's unlock prosperous nation. Thank you once again, DWNA, for this program. Thank you to all volunteers, participants, and all scholars, particularly from all multicultural friends who is partnering and participating with us for this community event. Thank you and namaste to you all and best wishes for this conference. Thank you so much.